Have you ever played mobile games? Because I sure did. Clash Royale was like the biggest boom ever when I was in school. And what do all of today's mobile games have in common? Microtransactions! Skins, currency, boosts, you name it. But there is one type of microtransaction that's made to fool you all. The piggy bank. The piggy bank is a concept that usually makes you collect the game's premium currency by doing small things or tasks that slowly fills it up. And after filling it up, you have the option to break your piggy bank with real money. And it gives you the special currency you earned with your own two hands. Or one hand, depending on what the game you're playing. The games usually try to persuade you with a huge glowing button screaming 10 times value right in your face. Some games have the piggy bank as a permanent feature. When filled up, you can buy it anytime. But some of them have a timer. A timer that counts down to its inevitable reset, making you fill it again and again and again without the option to turn it off or get rid of it. They're trying to reach to your internal FOMO, which stands for mayonnaise on an escalator! Well, actually it stands for fear of missing out, which makes you think, damn, it's so much more worth it to buy than the store offers. And it's gone in 20 minutes? And while yes, some of them are actually worth to buy in comparison to the store prices, most of the time, the amount isn't that significant in the long term. Most players would just spend it in basically 10 minutes from the excitement that, yay, I'm rich, or whatnot. And after spending everything, wouldn't you know it, the piggy bank is full again. Yay! So, are they a scam? One of the best examples I found was in the game Survivor.io. Basically, it's a survival game in which you collect abilities and fight enemies that come at you. Pretty basic stuff. You know, the one with the weird scammy ads? Yeah, that's the one. And then it comes. The event piggy bank offer. You see the size, the S up there? Yeah. But you didn't buy it. You decided to save your money. Besides, the amount of currency inside was so insignificant that spending cash on it was basically a waste. However, surprise, surprise, there is a bigger piggy with much more currency inside at a reasonable price? But that was the medium one, so there must be more, right? Wow! A large size piggy bank! And it gives so much more in comparison to the last one! You basically get 20% more in this one. Wait, XL! 3.5 value? It must be really stonks then, right? Huh? XXL. 4 times value? So it must mean... No. It's the same amount as an XL? There's no way this is real. Yep. XXXL with the same amount of currency and somehow only 2 times value this time. You should have seen my face when I first saw it. And the best part about it? With the amount of currency you get from the biggest piggy bank package, the best thing you could buy with it is open loot boxes. If you want to do a 10 draw, you need to spend 2,680 gems. Meaning, you cannot even open it 10 times. Because you're 800 gems short. But Lamp, you say? 100 gacha opens is quite a large number. You must be able to get something good from it, right? And yes, you are guaranteed a special piece of equipment every 50 pulls. Which is probably the only possibility of getting them, consistently anyhow. Meaning, you can get almost 2 guaranteed best rarity items in the game. That must be awesome. Well... In this game, the loot you get works with fusion mechanics. Every time you get the second of the same type of item, you can merge it into a stronger version of it. And no need to worry, you can use any of the same class of item to upgrade it. Pretty neat, right? until you can't. There is multiple stages of upgrading when you need multiple copies of the exact same item in order to make it better. Meaning, the one super strong, super rare item is not even enough by itself to matter in the long run. Another title that has a piggy bank is Dragon City, a game where you collect dragons and fight with them, and combine them into new different ones. You get the point. And when I said earlier about it stuffing your face with it, I mean it. Considering it's a mobile game, it has a lot of different buttons on the screen to take you somewhere else. And that takes up quite the amount of your screen. So there's the most important things in the game, such as the shop, and then next to it is piggy bank? But this time, in comparison to the previous game, it gives you an amount of currency that can actually impact your early game experience. And notice I said early game, as the kind of gameplay it provides isn't as predatory as the previous title mentioned. If you're patient as your currency spending will probably minimal anyway, as the gimmick for this game is mostly waiting for eggs to hatch, which then you're able to skip the time wait with the premium currency. And don't get me wrong, these times can go crazy long. The rest of your spending will probably be the only necessities, such as more hatching space or a second breeding station. So overall, the currency amount is nice for a beginner, but later, not so much. And even though most of them are just cash grabs, there is a game that has done piggy bank right. What is it, you ask? Well, of course, it's Raid Shadow. Just kidding. The game is Egg Inc. Egg Inc. is a simple simulator about a chicken farm. Nothing else. Except it's not. You start off as a simple farm of chickens, laying simple, edible eggs, and as you progress, the science progresses as well. And so do the eggs. From an egg that gives you calories enough for a whole day to space and time manipulation capabilities. But nonetheless, it's a mobile game. It has microtransactions. And here comes the piggy bank. Except, it's much different from the rest. It starts as simple as in any other game. You upgrade things, you buy stuff, you fill up your piggy bank, yada yada. Simple, no? But instead of it capping at full and waiting for your credit card information, you can do something else. See, when you play long enough, you unlock something called contracts. Contracts are a challenging multiplayer mode which lets you pair up with random people from random places to try and complete your tasks together. And as a reward, you can get many useful things: boosts, epic upgrades, premium currency, and something very unique in comparison to most mobile games. You can encounter piggy bank boosts. The piggy bank boosts split into two different categories: the piggy fill and the piggy level bonus. The currency bonus, as the name suggests, simply fills your piggy bank over the maximum capacity. So when you, let's say, have a 30,000 maximum piggy bank, the currency bonus of 100,000 sets your piggy bank value to 130,000. And as for the level bonus, no matter how many golden eggs you have inside, for each level of the boost you get 10% more eggs. So a 130,000 worth piggy bank increases to 143,000. And looking at the fact that the biggest bundle in the game contains 170,000 golden eggs for something around 25 bucks, the piggy bank costs $7 in exchange to my currency. I'm not sure about the dollars. For basically an unlimited amount of golden eggs as long as you grind for them. And the best part? You're not threatened by a timer screaming to your face that you have 3 days left to buy it, or lose your entire progress. In my case, I am currently standing at 46.5 million golden eggs in my piggy bank, which is probably not even enough to max everything out in the game. And after the purchase, of course, it resets. But instead of upgrading into a more expensive version, you just get an additional free piggy level on top of it, which effectively multiplies your future eggs. Of course, in comes the counter argument. Why would you grind something that you're probably never going to buy? As a free-to-play player, you might even get annoyed that your contract reward is something that boosts a premium item that you have to spend your money on? Isn't that a waste? And I suppose you may be right with this. But the more and more and more you have, the more you see that it's actually really worth it. Of course, if you're a hardcore free-to-play player, you're not buying it no matter how much there is. So you just have to deal with it, I guess. As in the long run, it is made to trick you into buying it as any other different mobile game would. So, what do we even learn from all of this? Are piggy banks a scam? Well, it's individual. Some of them are just a flashy attempt to grab your wallet without particular thought put into them. Some do give you a starting advantage, but nothing too game-breaking. And some are actually impactful enough and interactive to make your gameplay experience much more interesting and fun. And if you know any more games with that kind of system, feel free to comment the title and your experiences with it down below. And in any case, thank you so much for watching and sticking till the end. If you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing. I plan to make more videos like this in the future, so yeah.